we're recording. This is the Inconclusive Conquerors Impromptu speech. The first question is for Will. What is your favorite nickname that you've ever been given?
Okay. Throughout my life, I've been given several nicknames. I would say my name is very apt to having nicknames with it. You know, I've pretty much had them all thrown at me. William's my real name, and then Will I've been called multiple times, most of the time. Bill, my friends call me Bill a lot. I've been called Terrence because my favorite basketball player is Terrence Ross. Kirk, just from like an old YouTube video. I've been called Shark Attack by one of my good buddies, really with no reason. He's just a creative mind, and he'd always call me Attack. I was called Wild Bill by my growing up because I'm the youngest of my family, and so I would hang out with my older brother, and he would let me hang out with all his buddies and play basketball. So the only way for me to get to play basketball or football with them was just kind of be like a quick, pesky little kid. So they'd call me Wild Bill. And then if I went and played video games, I'd be all excited playing with them. So they'd call me Wild Bill. One would have to be Willie Mays Hayes because I'm a movie and obviously my last name's Hayes and I'm a baseball player. So it really fits all the way to it became my email address is WillieMaysHayes3@gmail.com. And one of my first job interviews that actually helped in the interview process because the guy was a big baseball fan and couldn't believe my name was Hayes. So that probably is my favorite nickname, still called by some of my coaches today as Willie Mays Hayes. And I'm still open to hear some more nicknames as life goes on. Like 10 seconds from 2 minutes. So thanks for listening to this first impromptu speech. That's a good one. And looking forward to the next question. All right. That was a long 2 minutes.
Yeah. All right. So, Will, you're going to ask Nick a question.
All right. Nick, what is your favorite cartoon character growing up and why?
So my favorite cartoon character growing up was probably Wile E. Coyote. I like to draw, so growing up I really liked to draw cartoon characters. So I had a portfolio of just cartoon characters I'd always draw, and that was one of the main ones I'd always just go back to. That and just the entire Looney Tunes catalog I like to draw a lot. So Wile E. Coyote probably top, but it stems to pretty much all cartoons.
All right.
So 2 minutes, right?
3 minutes.
Let's see. So I'm asking you a question?
Yes, you're asking me a question.
What ghost would you like to meet?
Ooh, what ghost would I like to meet?
Yeah.
Geez. I'm not a huge history buff, so I don't know. I'm not, like, interested in super, like, dead ghost people. I guess, I'm a huge poetry fan, so I probably want to meet Edgar Allan Poe, which my last name is also Poe. Fun fact. I have no idea if we're related. I usually just say yes because it makes it easier. It ends up with less questions for some reason. Although someone did ask if I had any of like his original copies of work, and I was like, no. He didn't have any kids. I know that because I did a project on him in like middle school. And then I had a substitute teacher who was like a regular sub, and he would call me Edgar Allan Poe. And a bunch of classmates got confused. But yeah, I would probably like to meet him. He wrote some pretty cool poetry, and we share the same last name. I did poetry club in high school, and now I just kind of write on my own, which is, I think, pretty cool for an engineering major. Helps me writing with speeches and stuff because I like to play around with words and like make them sound really cool and whatnot. And I think he was a pretty talented writer as well. So I would probably go with Edgar Allan Poe as the ghost I would want to meet. Yeah. That was ish 2 minutes.
It was good. It was solid.
Jake, are self-driving cars the future?
So I think this is an interesting question. So I guess kind of to start, I think it's important to define kind of what we mean by that, because in a manner of speaking, it's kind of already the present, because there are already 112 driverless trucks at Rio Tinto's mining operations in Australia. So in a way, it's kind of already a thing, but obviously the meaning of the question, like, is that the future, is whether we think people are ever going to be fully no longer in control of their vehicles. Are we going to have fully autonomous vehicles with no human interface? And as someone who's always been very interested in sci-fi and things like that, you know, space travel, futuristic vehicles and everything like that, I love the idea of that being the case, but I think there are a couple things that will make that a kind of buffer that reality from really happening. Mainly being the technological issues that we face still with implementing that technology for actual self-driven vehicles in regular traffic, and then also the societal issues, the cultural issues with having that be implemented. I think we will likely see in the next few years, maybe the next couple decades, we'll start to see a shift in people's perception of self-driving vehicles as the technological improvements happen that are necessary for it to actually be a thing. But I think that having fully autonomous vehicles is probably something that will never happen due to the tradition of having driven vehicles for the past 100 years. It's something people find very dear to themselves. And so I think that we'll see more automation such as cruise control is technically a form of automation, but I think that we will always have steering wheel and gas and acceleration. So, yep, that's around 2 minutes, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for joining in the Inconclusive Conquerors Impromptu speech.
Not a message from our sponsors.